Well, girl, you must be feeling all kinds of stressed. I hope you still have hair left, okay? I know you're probably.
This is the place to ask questions. This is the place to take notes. This is the place to learn strategy. Welcome to the Visible Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Lewis, and this is the podcast you'll love listening to week after week. After a history in Hollywood, I know what it takes to get visible. And as an entrepreneur, you don't have to keep feeling frustrated and trapped, not able to get yourself out there. Myself, my guests, and even my family are here to lift you up, guide you, and give you powerful ideas so that you can get your unique voice into the online space. Ready? Let's do it.
And action.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Visible Entrepreneur. This is going to be an amazing episode because it is with one of my great biz BFFs, Haley Burkhead. Welcome, Haley.
Thank you, Michelle. So glad to be here. Like over the moon, excited to be here. So Thank you.
So Haley and I have known each other for a while now. We actually met on a joint summit. So that's how we connected. That's how we have grown our friendship. We both have just absolutely loved growing our business over the past year. And it's been so exciting watching each other grow. So if you don't know a lot about Haley, Haley Burkhead is the founder of The Profit Planner, which I am a part of, and host of the Profit Planner podcast. She helps online business make more profit productively by applying proven systems that generate consistent 5-figure months while cutting their workload in half. That is so much information, I couldn't even get it out of my mouth. So condense that and let us know, what exactly do you love giving in terms of goals for business owners? How do you help them?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So I feel like a lot of us may have this busy badge on our chest, and we might be wearing it proudly, or we might be crying because we're wearing it. Whichever one, I've been both. Okay, I've been both those people. So you might be working those 14 to 16-hour days, maybe less, whatever, but you're looking back at your day and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I've been so busy. I am so proud of how busy I've been. I mean, I'm such a good entrepreneur. I'm better than you and you and you. Like, that was who I was. You know, I really wore that busy badge as a badge of honor. And I like to show people, like, hey, you know that 14-hour work day that you just did? Well, only 4 hours of it was actually productive and profitable. So how can we... Yeah, dun, exactly. So how can we turn your day, who's listening to this right now, and cut that in half or a fourth? Like, I want to make sure that what you are actually working on is the right things. They're moving your business forward and making you money, because you would be so surprised at how I've been able to, even 6-figure business owners, cut their business into little department and halves and make sure that, wow, I only have to work 4 to 5 hours a day to become a millionaire? Like, yeah, that's possible. So yeah, that's exactly what profit planning is.
Well, and I think what's cool about this is, since I knew you before Profit Planner started, is that you were very amazing at, yes, marketing and all that kind of stuff. But what really lit you up was organization, like streamlining things.
Exactly.
I remember telling you, and you would be like, how's this going? And what's your process? And I'd tell you, and you're like, you're wasting so much time. You need to be doing this, this, and this, right? So that really helped you find your zone of genius. And I think that's really exciting. There's a lot of other people out there that maybe feel like they're super broad in their niche right now. So what would be some of your tips that would help them to really narrow down their focus so that they can stay in their zone of genius and actually profit from it?
What? Crazy talk over here. Yeah. So right now you might be feeling, I feel like it comes from this mindset of, oh, if I don't cast a super wide net, then who am I going to catch? Like, am I going to catch enough fish to be able to bring home fish to eat? Like, how is that even going to work? But man, let me tell you, once you get a smaller net, you not only spend more time, but fish are attracted to you. Like, that actually doesn't work in the real world, but you get what I'm saying with the analogy. That might not have been the best analogy.
Don't go fishing with the advice.
Yes.
Disclaimer.
So, clarify. Yeah. Yeah. But man, it is insane how, if you do if you do really niche down, how people are actually attracted to you because they feel like, oh man, this chick, this man, they are really talking to me. And if you can get that reaction from people, like you are really talking to me, like Michelle, this whole visibility thing, like she really hits on those pain points of, sometimes it's scary to be visible, right? And Michelle is that lady that is going to help you bring all of that junk out, and where you are so confident on camera, like her live, you still do the Comfy on live challenge,
Yeah, the
right?
Comfy on Camera challenge. I actually was like, dang, I need to do another one of those because it's been a while.
I love that. I think that was so great. So, Michelle attracts those specific type of people. She's really niched down in that area. And I've seen you niche down even more over the past few months. It's like, even whenever you've hit those, even the big financials, like the big businesses, you're still niching down as you go, as you learn more about your audience. But it's so crucial. I cannot stress that enough. And I know, like, I'm in Michelle's Facebook group. So if you have any questions, first of all, make sure you're in Michelle's Facebook group. And second of all, we are both here to answer any questions you have about niching down for sure.
Absolutely. And what I've noticed with the transformation that you've had, especially over the last 2 months, I've seen a lot more space, a lot more relaxation, a lot more comfortability. So why don't you talk a little bit about that? Because I feel like we were both in the hustle, and I feel like you've had a metamorphosis. So give us a few minutes on that.
Okay. I just want to say that Michelle and we text each other, and I have at points voice texted her crying, saying, Michelle, I am so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I feel sick. I feel like throwing up. I just don't even want to wake up tomorrow because I know I have this huge to-do list. Like, that was me. And Michelle gave me this advice, which transformed, honestly, my entire life. That sounds so dramatic, but you know what? It's true. So this is what she said, and I feel like I'm actually saying this in front of Michelle, so this might be a butchered version. Don't judge me, Michelle.
No, whatever you took from it is obviously what you needed.
But she said there's an alpha and beta state. I know in her Facebook group she even has a post about this, but this really, this was huge. And she said, I was in the beta state, right? Yeah. And I need to get to the alpha state. So she goes, a beta state is defined as someone that's always looking for the next thing, super big to-do list, feels this anxiety in the pit of their stomach, which was so me. And alpha state is this peaceful soul, like their contentment. And not that I was then ever content as an entrepreneur, where it's so hard to be content. We always want that next thing, right? But man, it was like this. She talked about meditation in the alpha state, getting to that kind of that higher being in a way, like connecting with that and feeling just at peace. I think that was the word that really stood out to me, was at peace. It doesn't mean you're not driven. It just means you're coming out of a peaceful, restful state. And that was so far from my mind. I honestly just shut down because I did not understand how to get there. Like, it made sense. But once I realized that, a lot of things clicked for me.
It's so awesome to hear. And I love seeing this transformation with you and other people that are in a similar field, because we are in this beta state, very low frequency. And you'll know that you're in that state. Like me, myself, this past month, I've been a little bit more in that state than normal, and I hate it. So I've been doing a lot of work to get out of it myself. We have these ebbs and flows, but you can notice if you're in a beta state, especially if you feel fear, anxiety, comparisonitis, resentment, anger, rage, jealousy, all these different kinds of things, means that you're in that lower frequency. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean it's who you are. It means that's kind of how you've been conditioned to become. And so the body's kind of taken over the mind a little bit. So the way that you can start getting out of that is, like Haley's mentioning, doing a daily meditation. If you haven't read Joe Dispenza yet, be sure to just buy all his books and then just set aside like 3 months for your life to just go crazy and then be amazing. But I'm so proud of you. It's been so cool to see this transformation. So going into that, what you specialize in now, yes, is making profit, but it's really based on productivity.
Right.
So as the flowers like fly down the screen, talk to us a little bit about, what do you think is missing for most online entrepreneurs in terms of productivity, and how can they fix it?
Oh, girl. Well, first of all, I'm just going to bring some tough love over here, because you might be working on the wrong things. It is insane how you can cut an 8-hour workday into a 2-hour workday by these things, making sure that you are prioritizing and context switching. Those are huge major things. So first, let's just dive into prioritizing. I see a lot of people that are filling their calendars with things that they do kind of seem profitable. They seem like a good idea and they are moving your business forward technically, but in the actual grand scheme of things, they aren't because they have no vision. How do they even know where they're going, right? And so I know Michelle's in the Profit Planner Lounge, and profit planning is huge with that because you're able to be a visionary, like the CEO of your business, and say, okay, this is where I want to go. And this is how I'm going to get there. Once you know how to get there, then you prioritize how to get there. And from your priorities, then what I like to call, I call this the SOA method, where you take all of your high priority tasks and then you systemize, outsource, and automate them. That way, whatever's making you money and whatever's moving your business forward is systemized and automated and outsourced. Like, how much better can you get than that? It is so crazy. So in order to prioritize, let me just say, pull out a Google Doc, Evernote, piece of paper, like whatever you have. If you're driving, keep driving. You're good, girl. But if you aren't, pull out something. I want you to type these 4 questions and answer them with us. So
let's do it.
First question, what are your income sources? What are you bringing in that money? I want to know every single income stream that you have in your business. So for me, I have the Profit Planner Lounge, the membership site. That's pretty much my bread and butter right now. I do a little bit of consulting, one-on-one work with business owners that want to take it from 6 figures to 7 figures. And then I also have some programs that I sell, like Asana for the Entrepreneur. That's a big popular one that I have. And then Convert and Monetize Your List. It's like a $47 product. So those are my 4 or 5 income streams. Oh, and affiliates. I do affiliates too. So list out every single income stream that you have in your business. Think it through. Okay, cool. Now that we have that, I want you to go to question number 2. Now, question number 2 is, what are your community builders? And I'm talking, let me define what a community builder is, because I feel like a lot of people get hung up on this. A community builder is a place online or in person that you can talk from one to many, so one to multiple people, and one to one if possible. So like Instagram stories, you can talk one to many, but you can also DM. So that's one to one, right? Facebook group, one to many, you're posting, but also one to one commenting. So what are those community builders? I know Michelle does Instagram stories. Michelle has a Facebook group. Michelle does Instagram posts. Michelle does live video. So those are all community builders. So what are your community builders? Think through that and then write those down. Now, 3 is, what are your content magnets? So I know Michelle has this podcast. I have a podcast too, the Profit Planner podcast. So we're both big on podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
yeah.
You're welcome.
Go listen, go review. It's great. It's great. But man, I know we both love audio. We're big audio junkies. And then I'm also relaunching my blog soon, just for SEO purposes. And then I do a little bit with YouTube, not much, just really podcast recordings. And so those are my content streams. What are your content streams? Think through that. You have 3 choices: audio, video, or written. That's all you get. Now there's different categories in between those 3 categories, but list those out and see what those are. Now 4 is, what are your traffic drivers? And this can typically be a long list. Mine is super long. I think I have over 20 different traffic sources. But for you, if you're just starting out, at least get 3. I would say 3 is a pretty good number, and see what that is. So for Pinterest is a big traffic driver. I know Michelle and I, we repin a lot of each other. So we have our Pinterest managers. We tell our Pinterest managers, hey, repin this girl's stuff. So we're constantly repinning each other's, which is great to have those business besties like that. Yeah. So Pinterest is huge. Facebook group, Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube. Like, what is that for you? Now you have all these answers. If you have any tasks that fall into these 4 categories, they are a high priority, because if they are an answer to those 4 questions, then that means that they are moving your business forward in some way, or they are making you money. So that is how you prioritize all of your tasks. And then I challenge you to look at that list and say, okay, like go through each specific item and say, okay, how am I going to systemize? How am I going to outsource? How am I going to automate? If outsourcing is a scary word to you, then skip that and systemize and automate. It's totally cool. This is your business, right? You got to choose what you do. Now, I definitely suggest outsourcing, but if you feel like that's a scary word, you can skip that and go to systemizing and automating. Now, everything that is moving your business forward and making you money, it has a system around it, or it is automated. How much of a game changer is that? You can cut your time, and also making money isn't hard. Like making money does not have to be hard. And if you do it this way, it becomes less challenging. And also you have more time to be that CEO, that visionary.
That's so true. And I think that, if you were listening to that, you're going to need to rewind it. You're going to need to re-listen to it again and write down the questions. Haley's an awesome, fast talker, but she can really give you all the information. So let me talk to you a little bit about how I implemented her method. So yeah, and you can use this if you want it. So for me personally, I did all the things. I'm a shark personality. Haley's shark, but she's a little bit more sea urchin with all the productivity stuff. But for me, it was, okay, I need to be doing everything, and I need to be doing everything with excellence. And so what would happen is that I would work 14, 15-hour days, and I couldn't sustain things. And so yes, I would produce the content, but I wouldn't be able to automate it, and I wouldn't be able to really keep promoting it evergreen because I was on to the next thing. So when 2018 rolled around, I sat down, I had joined her lounge because she had said, you have to be in here. This is really going to help you. So I did. And I went to the coffee shop and I laid everything out and I went, okay, I'm going to cut all of the free content that I'm giving down to one source because I'm exhausted. And so I decided that I really wanted that to be my podcast. I think that podcasting has just skyrocketed and it's going to continue to do so. But the unique visibility that I could add to that is recording it. So if you're watching on YouTube or in the Facebook group, that's why you're seeing it here. So then I figured out, okay, what exhausts me about podcasting? And pretty much the only thing that I like to do with podcasting is show up and talk to Haley and then to link to it with my Insta stories or to have a watch party in my Facebook group. That's the only part that I like to be involved in because then I want to be focusing on my money-making tasks like she was talking about. So that's when I decided to hire a podcast manager. His name is Pablo and he's fantastic. Shout him out in the group. He's wonderful. And so I hired him. I hired an editor who I'd actually used to edit a web series that I directed. And I'm like, hey, do you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he's my podcast editor. And then I brought on an intern who really wanted to learn like how to make the graphics and all of that. So it is a little extra time when you bring on an intern, but I was willing to do that because I plan on hiring her at the end of her internship. Nice. So that's 3 team members, and it may seem really crazy, but for me, I was like, okay, what can I afford per month? Because I'm also looking long-term since they're going to be able to help me market this and save my time that I'll be making more revenue because of the podcast in order to justify that expenditure. So I'm hoping that that makes sense to the people listening. That's just a little way that you can kind of simplify what you're doing, especially with free content creation, and start bringing on that team to help you so that you're not having to be in the tediousness of every single day.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that.
Right? Whoo, my goodness. Thinking about everything I used to do, and like, this is what you'll realize. You'll get into a sauna, you'll start breaking things down, and then you're like, oh my gosh. The first time I brought Pablo over and took him through the workflow of one of the podcasts, he looked at me and he's like, this is insane. Like, how did you do this? And I'm like, well, I didn't do it well. And he's like, I'm so glad you brought on a team because you would have died. And I'm like, I know, it was so stressful. Like, you don't realize how much you do as an entrepreneur and as a CEO until you look at all the tasks.
Yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true. I am so thankful for my podcast manager. I honestly don't know how I'd survive without her. I worship her basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
every day I just like, what present can I send you today? I love you. I love you.
Exactly. So in terms of if people are going, okay, I know that things need to change. We have probably 2 different people listening. The one side of it is that they haven't really systematized anything yet. They haven't kept track of their workflows. They don't know what they're doing. So that's the one side. Yeah. The other side is that they have things kind of organized, but they're doing too much. So what is one beginner step that you could give to each person for them to kind of make things a little bit more profitable and a little bit more productive?
Yeah, okay. So person 1 that has nothing set up, well, girl, you must be feeling all kinds of stressed. I hope you still have hair left, okay? I know you're probably wanting to rip your hair out.
She does, but it isn't washed, that's for sure, right? It's messy bun all the way.
Well, then this is my goal for you. We're going to free up your time so that you have time to wash your hair and feel like a human, okay? The big thing is I want you to go through those 4 questions, and I really want you to sit down and spit. I want you to rewind, go, that's my rewind sound. Rewind.
Loved it.
Go back. and really sit down, like go to a coffee shop and make time for yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve time for yourself, and you deserve to spend time on this kind of CEO task for your business. So first, yeah, make sure to go through those 4 questions and really get to the bottom of, wow, what do I actually need to create systems for? I want to make sure that you are creating systems for the right things. So a lot of people, they hear my message and like, okay, yeah, system, I can do that. And then they go start creating all these systems. And I'm like, but wait, come back, because you're not creating systems for the right things, okay?
Right.
And so I want to make sure that you answer those 4 questions, create systems for the right things, and automate. Use tools and softwares. If you outsourcing, like I said, if you haven't created systems yet, I'm assuming that outsourcing is a scary word for you. And so if that is, guess what? Tools and software are 1,000,000 times cheaper than hiring a VA. So go do that. I know Michelle and I have talked about this so many times, is, man, you can do Board Booster for $10 a month instead of hiring a Pinterest manager for $300 a month. Like, use tools and software to automate stuff. So go do that. Now, for person number 2, I'm sure you probably wash your hair a little bit more often. But wait, okay, so the definition of person number 2 was
person number 2 is that they have, like, they're working in their Asana, they're doing things, they're probably a little over ambitious, so they don't get all their quarterly goals done. But I feel like a lot of these people start off the quarter and they have like guns blazing and they're ready to go, and the first like month they're rocking it, but then the fatigue starts to set in and they're not able to achieve all of their quarterly goals. I know you and I have both been this person. So in terms of how you've been able to change things and prioritize things and simplify things, what would your biggest piece of advice be for that person?
Outsource. I'm going to say the scary word. Outsourcing. I'm just going to say it until you're not scared of it anymore. Outsourcing can be a scary thing. I'm not going to lie to you. It definitely can. I know I have voice. Can you tell Michelle and I voice text? I have voice text to Michelle. Okay, this intern or this employee, like, this is what they did. Like, yeah, it can be a little bit. But guess what? If you free up your time and your mental energy, this is the thing, is that this is what I want you to realize. And this is the big realization that I had, is that, okay, as a CEO, like, this is not a hobby, right? Like, we are not hobbyists over here. We are running businesses. And so if you are the CEO of a business, whether you have a team or not, you're still a CEO. You need to free up your mental capacity, your mental energy, to give yourself that freedom and give yourself that energy to make those big decisions in your business, not all those small little ones that aren't actually affecting your bottom line at all. Okay. So in order to do that, we need to hire other people to free up that space for us. This does not mean going and hiring an expensive Pinterest manager. You start off small. Okay. Like, for instance, for me, I mean, when I ran a 4-person agency last year, that's when Michelle and I met, was when I ran this agency, which is why I was so stressed, because I also had a full-time job. Like, why did I do that? I mean, never mind. I'm not even going to go into that whole mess. It wasn't for money. I'm just crazy. Like, I'm just crazy.
Well, you wanted to do all the things. Yeah.
I wanted to do all the things. I wanted to have the job. I loved the people, but I also wanted to be a business owner because, I mean, I've been an entrepreneur since 2011. So all the things, but for that, like, even making decisions on what you eat, like, have HelloFresh. I know, Michelle, you've tried out HelloFresh, right? Or I
haven't actually, but you know me, I love healthy food.
Story. No, I'm thinking of your cauliflower crust pizza. That's what I'm thinking of. That wasn't HelloFresh. That's immediately what I'm.
But it's a great option for sure.
Yeah, it is a great option. We don't have a Trader Joe's over here, so I'm a little bit jealous of you. But yeah, get HelloFresh. That will completely eliminate you making that decision. Or things like that. Hire a cleaner. That'll free up your mental and physical energy.
Thank you, Martha. I love you wherever you are. Oh my God. Hiring a house cleaner. Like, let's just stop for a second. I need to stop. Okay. If you're anything like me and you're visionary, very sharp, very driven, all that stuff, even though you can be an immaculate cleaner, you secretly hate it, or publicly hate it. I publicly hated it. So much mental stress. Nathan's working as a camera guy, and so he doesn't have time. I'm trying to run a business. I don't have time. I have 2 animals. There's hair everywhere. It was such a source of stress. I literally would have to run a podcast and do that, and then stop, and then clean the floors, and then come in and do a meeting, and then go and clean the kitchen. I didn't realize how stressful it was just cleaning my house. So if you're not going to outsource anything yet, just think about having someone come in and help maintain your space. Okay, rant over. Lifesaver.
I love that. I love that. Then another thing is look at, ask those 4 questions, obviously go through that and say, okay, what can I outsource to another person? For instance, Michelle thought, okay, podcasting, this is what drains me. So I'm going to outsource that. Or I'm going to hire an intern for free. Definitely don't hire an intern for free just to have her for free. Like Michelle said, she's planning on hiring them. Have an end game with that intern. Otherwise, it's honestly just a waste of your time because interns can actually cost you money.
Yes.
I know that sounds crazy because you're like, what? They're free. But your time is money. If you are wasting your time training someone, yeah, it's huge. So make sure to have an end game for them if you plan on spending your time training them. But yeah, make sure to hire out for those things that you need. You can go low budget, you can go high budget, whatever feels comfortable for you. I started off low budget. I started off with someone that was $10 an hour, but that was a pretty low budget for me. There are people that you can hire. I know Kelvin, actually a mutual friend of ours.
Yeah,
Kelvin, he runs a social media agency and he hires through, he hires through a different website. You can look up onlinejobs.ph, but there are Philippine VAs out there. They're like $5 an hour or something in US, and that's a lot of money for them. Like, don't think you're just treating them like crap by paying them. That's actually a lot of money for them, and they are very, very great workers. You have to be very detailed with them. I personally never done this, but I know a lot of people who have. It's ended up pretty great. So, that's an option too. Just, there's so many options out there. Roll your sleeves up and get it, girl.
Absolutely. And you can read a little bit more about that in the 4-Hour Work Week. That's the title, right? It's 4. Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's
I don't know why I thought it was 5. It's in my bookshelf. It's literally right there. So that really helps you break it down so that you can kind of start getting acclimated with this process. And like Haley's saying, like, you don't have to start huge. You can start with interns if you want, but you are going to be in a phase for about a month and a half where you're doing tutorials and you're really having to hold their hand. And so that part can be really stressful. I'm not going to lie to you. I just went through it. But if you do have that end game, it can be really helpful. And people that are really tenacious to learn, especially when they're coming out of college or in college, that's great because maybe they're in a business class, but they're not taught the stuff that we're taught. I mean, I just met with one last week and they hadn't heard of Planoly or Meet Edgar or Asana or anything. Like, they don't teach this in school. So it can definitely be a great investment. Okay. Now let's switch over and talk a little bit about the Profit Planner Lounge. Let's talk about what you offer. And I know that I love being a part of it. And how has this really helped you step into your purpose?
Yeah, so let's just, first of all, imagine your revenue goal. Like, you're listening right now, you're thinking, okay, I want to make $100,000 this year. I would love to make $100,000 by this time next year. Okay, great. So a lot of people would tell you, okay, split your quarterly goal into projects, all that kind of stuff. Now you know what projects to work on. Okay, great. But you're going here, you're like, okay, I know what projects to complete, but what does this actually make my day-to-day life look like? Like, whenever Michelle wakes up and she sits her cute butt in her office chair, what is Michelle going to do that day to get to $100,000? Like, that is what people struggle with because a lot of productivity experts out there or a lot of profit experts just are fluffy.
Yeah.
And we don't do fluff, okay?
No,
so
please
I want to show you, So I want to show you how to break down that revenue goal that's in your head right now, whatever it is. And I want to show you how to break that down into what your day-to-day life will actually look like on a color-coded calendar. So whenever Michelle does sit her cute butt in her office chair, she goes, I do never have to ask the question, what do I do next? I know what I'm going to do next, which is going to increase my productivity by 50%. That question alone, by eliminating that question. And now that she's eliminated that question, she knows what she's going to do next. Well, from there, she just has to execute. And this is not, I definitely want to say this is not a set in stone plan. This is flexible. So if Michelle that morning says, I'm really not feeling inspired, she can move her tasks to wherever she wants. That's totally fine. This is a plan that's built to allow you to have days off, to allow you to have afternoons off. I actually, I'm planning a new day structure to where my new day structure is becoming a millionaire with only working 4 to 5 hours a day.
Awesome.
So that is, you can structure your days however you want. And this is totally up to you. So for me, sometimes I work 9 to 10 hours if I'm super inspired and I'm just loving it. And then the next day, I might not feel like working at all. Like it's so up to you. So that's what
The
I
ebbs
do.
and
That's called
flows.
exactly, exactly. And the waves, like Michelle told me a lot about the waves, and go with the waves. Like, how are you feeling? Like, what wave of feeling is washing over you right now? Like, is it anxiety? You need to stop. You need to meditate. Like,
Mhm.
is it an inspiration? Okay, if the wave of inspiration, then you need to execute. You need to work. You need to get that idea out of your head. So go with those waves, right? And then that's what the 90-day profit system is inside the Profit Planner Lounge. We also go through the SOA method, which is what we kind of talked about today. We touched on the beginning of it a little bit. We really dive in. We do recurring routines, which I'm not sure if you've done this yet, Michelle, with the
I don't
SOA
know if
method.
I have. I've done
Yeah.
the SOA method, but I haven't done the recurring routines. I just saw that you announced the Pinterest edition, and so I'm excited to go through those.
Yes, you should. Yeah, that's going to be so much fun. So we like turn our priority tasks into recurring routines on our calendar based on quarterly, monthly, daily, and weekly. So
Awesome.
much fun because we just automate all that crap. And then I have a sauna for the entrepreneur, which is project management. So those are the three things that I say if you want to hit 5-figure months, you need to get an amazing project management system that basically runs all the business headquarters on autopilot. You need to have a prioritizing method like the SOA method, and you need to have a profit plan. You have to have a profit plan.
Absolutely. Well, I think that that is an awesome place to start. And if you guys are interested in joining me and Haley over in the Profit Planner Lounge, then my link is going to be below. You can join. We would love, 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 love to have you. And is there any other parting wisdom that you want to give people listening today?
Yes. So first, if you join through Michelle's link, you can get a sauna for the entrepreneur for free. So a sauna for the entrepreneur is a $97 program that I have that basically lets you copy and paste my entire project management system. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't have a project management system set up, don't worry. If you join through Michelle's link, you can get that for free. So it's $47 to join. You get a $97 for free. So it's basically like I'm giving you $50. So
Heck
so
yeah.
feel free to join through her link and I'll make sure you get that for free.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, and it's such a good course, guys. I've been through it. All this stuff has helped me so much. So I really hope that you will jump in and enjoy that. Okay. So last bit of parting wisdom, give it to us.
Last bit. So I want you to know that I definitely believe that marketing and sales are the oxygen of your business. Of course they are. If you don't have marketing and sales, then it's like business suicide, right? But
Hmm.
planning and productivity determine the speed of how fast your business can grow. And so and what's great about having a business is that business, it doesn't have a speed limit. You can go as fast as you want to. So apply planning, apply productivity, get inside the Profit Planner Lounge, really apply this to your business, and you don't have to worry about a speed limit, and you can scale your business as fast and as big as you want to.
Beautiful. Well, thanks so much, my darling, for coming on the show. It's so long overdue, but I'm glad that
I
it timed out to
know.
be right now. It's been so
Me too.
much fun, and I'm so excited to see what happens in the next couple of months with both of our businesses.
Yes, me too. Thanks, girl.
Okay, guys, we will see you in the next episode. Be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, let Haley know what you thought of this episode inside of your review, and then hop on over to the Facebook group. Say hi. We're super active in there, and you can also join her group, which is called the Profit Planner Group, I believe, right?
Yeah, Profit Planning Entrepreneurs at profitplanner.co/community. So that's what that
Perfect.
link
So
is.
we'll
Yeah.
link that below too. Okay, go have a great productive week. Take those notes down, answer those questions, and we will see you inside of our groups. When I first got started with my online business, I looked at people who were getting featured in places like Huffington Post and Forbes and Inc. and wondering how the heck did they do that, right? In terms of me, I grew up in film and TV, so the video part and the branding part was really easy, but landing the press seemed impossible. But then I met a girl named Kristen Marquet who became my publicist and showed me the exact steps to take in order to land places like Entrepreneur on Fire, Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, Medium, Just Lex, the list goes on and on. It doesn't mean that I'm special, it means that we figured out a formula that works and we want to show you. Kristen and I have teamed up to write a book called Publicity Jumpstart, and we can't wait to share it with you. Get on the waiting list now, order your copy today at publicityjumpstart.com, where we show you the top 10 ways to get your brand featured in the press. We can't wait to come alongside you in this journey. This is by far the most actionable entrepreneur book I've ever read when it comes to press, and I can't wait for you to get your hands on a copy. So go to publicityjumpstart.com and get yours today. I hope you loved this episode as much as I did. Now, we're all about building a tribe here at The Visible Entrepreneur, so be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and then head on over to the Facebook group. It's a great place where you can practice your video, live stream, and really enjoy the community that we have built. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next episode. Now get out there and get more visible.
That's a wrap.